Hey guys, HarlequinCoHO here, and it occurred to me that of all the games I've cast so far, we have yet to see an Armored Commander or a Terror Commander. So, with the exception of the 3v3 game I casted with my buddies Quasimodem and Guantes, really we hadn't seen any good 1v1s there, so I'm going to go ahead and get this started for you. And today we are on the map Semois, and up here in the north position for the allies, we've got Audemed3. This is Audemed. We've seen him in another replay, and this is his Armor Commander account. And down here in the south, we've got MARKATLET, and this is his Terror Commander account. So we're going to go ahead and just see some armor versus terror and see what's going on here. Right off the bat, both players go ahead and build their barracks and Wehrmacht quarters, and you can see he's got his construction pioneers out and power building that Wehrmacht quarters. Let's take a look at what unit he's exactly getting out here, and it is a heavy machine gun squad. And we're going to have to see exactly what Audemed's going to do to counter that. And look at this. Now, this isn't StarCraft. People can't scout or anything like that. So really, both players are just kind of Rochambeauing their way into this and just picking the units. And oftentimes, I've seen this a little bit here and there, is that you can have some clever counters to machine gunners early on. With Jeeps. If you've got really good micro and good control of your Jeeps, you can rush on out there, and if there's a particular building, like if I was going into this blind, I would say, oh, maybe you could set up some machine guns in this building or this building and get some really annoying positioning, or even this building is really good. But a Jeep can actually beat them down there, and with proper micro, a Jeep can zip back and forth in front of the door and things like that, and really keep the machine gunners from getting in and shoot them all down and all that. So that's kind of what I'm thinking in my head, but as we're going to see, that's not the case. Now, first off, we've got an Assault Jeep level 5. Anyone who's not familiar with this, at level 5, this vehicle can actually cap points. Super useful early game. And you'll note that of the commander abilities that Audemed has, he does have Armor Bounty, which is available at level 0. And basically, it gives you it's kind of like pillage for the pillage for the Axis, except for it allows you to only get money and I think it's manpower and fuel, I believe, whenever you kill enemy units with your vehicles. So let me just take a look at the chessboard here and see what's going on real quick. You'll see he's taken this little phallic path on outwards. Meanwhile, Audemed's just kind of capped right across the board. Now the Jeep comes to find a rather strange circumstance going on down here by the fuel point. This is not actually that uncommon. I've seen this in plenty of replays, and you'll see right off the bat he's going to go ahead and activate Armored Bounty. Unfortunately, he's just a little bit too close to this bunker and starting to take quite a bit of damage. Nice, smart thinking here by MARKATLET, though. He's just going to go ahead and throw down a couple of half-completed tank traps because they do actually block the path of the Assault Jeep, and he's just looking to kind of trap him in here, maybe keep him within the range of this bunker, but unfortunately the Jeep maneuvers just out of range of that bunker and is able to chase away the Pioneers, and it looks like he's going to go ahead and start trying to decap this fuel point. Quick look around the map while that's going on. We do have our Katzenmeyer's Volksgrenadiers. These guys can chuck grenades. Building a sandbag here, a little technique I like to call G-bagging after my buddy Guantes, who coined the term, and just giving himself a little bit of green cover while he tries to cap this munitions point. The center tends to be an area of much contest. And up here in the upper left, looks like MARKATLET went ahead and just capped his victory point anyways, and is now hopefully taking this point. It's hard to tell at the moment, but that's fine. We're going to just keep looking around. Infantry coming out, second infantry squad out for Audemed. And now Audemed is capping the lower right and just getting some good control here, but check out this machine gun positioning here by MARKATLET. He sees the Assault Jeep. The Assault Jeep suddenly is having a little bit of trouble backing out of there. He was able to avoid the tank traps, but just real quick thinking, just got to go right for the Jeep, and unfortunately he was a little undecided. He thought, oh, maybe I can just finish the cap, and instead he backed out with it at like 90% and didn't get either. Didn't get to save the Jeep, didn't get to save that. So a little too bad there. Advanced Defense Engineers out here having a little bit of a firefight with the Construction Pioneers. And typically speaking, this is usually, it always feels like the Pioneers tend to win these kind of fights, but it looks like the Advanced Defense Engineers able to get the kills they needed, although taking 2 kills themselves. Quickly getting encroached upon by Katzenmeyer's Volksgrenadiers, and these Defense Engineers are just going to have to book it on out of there. Hopefully they don't get any parting shots. And was able to get the decap real quick, and just a quick overview. It is the case that Audemed has got both of these victory points now. So once again, he's back here, and he's got this kind of just mess of construction going on down here. And I think in general, if you can get that done and then just build an observation post on top of that fuel point, it's a hard thing to cap, and it gives you a lot of time to react to people coming down there. But now it's just kind of a mess, and he's either got to decide to finish what he started or just, I don't know. But so meanwhile, Volksgrenadiers, heavy machine gun team, all coming out here, and accomplished machine gun team as well with that. So we've got a hero unit there, and you'll see that Audemed is researching hand grenades right off the bat, and I really like this because one of the sort of downsides to being an armor commander, and I'm an armor commander, so I can relate to him. I'm not nearly as good, but you know, I do feel this kind of pressure is that there's not a lot of armory things that you can do early game. You know, a lot of people have all these quick and easy abilities, but unless you make jeeps, you can't really take advantage of armor bounty that often early game. HVAP is probably one of the best abilities, but again, you kind of need something to put it on. So you need, you know, an AT gun, or you need a Greyhound or something like that, and that's not really an early game unit. And then really the biggies here, you've got the calliope reinforcements and the Pershing, and so both of those things, Commander level 6, Commander level 7, once you've fully leveled them up. Long-term things here. So we're going to see, we've got a little bit of infantry skirmishing going on down here. Quick peek, we've got the engineers. It looks like they're going to try and take that point, but we're going to focus up here on the infantry. This accomplished HMG team is really going to pin everybody here. A nice attempt at trying to flank up here, and it looks like he's unwisely repositioned his machine gun team. I thought he had the cover here, but first grenade goes off, and it looks like these Katzenmeyer Volksgrenadiers taking some casualties, kind of split amongst both of these Volksgrenadiers, and a second grenade just kind of, whoops, swing and a miss out there in the middle of nowhere. HMG team now pointing completely in the wrong direction, going to have to turn around, and Audemed now is completely outnumbered here and really needs to get out of the way. He doesn't have any cover advantages. 3 of them left. Taking a lot of damage. He's doing a little bit of damage himself, but 2 left. He's totally pinned. 1 left, and oh, in a cloud of pink smoke, the last rifleman goes down. Quick peek down here to see what the hell's going on. Looks like these engineers are having a bit of a firefight with the construction pioneers, and once again, they were able to get the upper hand, doing quite a bit of damage, and now it looks like they're just going to come in here and perhaps start taking out some of these half-done tank traps, and then probably cutting away at the barbed wire. I got a little bit of a chaotic personality in me, so whenever I'm out anywhere and I see somebody's put a lot of time into building stuff, even if I don't have any intention on assaulting it, I love just going there and just cut one hole and walk away, just to kind of be like, yeah, okay, screw you. But I don't know exactly what I mean by that, but hey, why not? So Volksgrenadiers gonna take advantage of the fact that they've got a little bit of center map control here. This is a nice little detail here, just being annoying. Yeah, this isn't impenetrable or anything like that, but it's like you run all the way down with a bunch of riflemen. It's like, come on, engineers, get here, please. So looks like he's capping this other victory point. So triple cap now for MARKATLET. Meanwhile, engineers were forced to retreat, and unfortunately, I always hate it when they do this. Sometimes it's a little wiser if you're going to retreat first in these kind of like halfway in between situations to back up a bit first and then retreat, because you kind of have to go right across the front of his base, and that's always a little bit irritating. So these guys are taking a long walk home. Meanwhile, these infantry are just content to just ignore this path for the time being and head on out all the way to the left, looking to cap some stuff. Grenadiers here on the right still grabbing this munitions point. So I'm going to take just a quick look at the overhead map now, and we're going to take some inventory here. And Audemed does have a good map control. Up until this point here, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 munitions points, while his opponent only had 3. So he had a pretty good advantage with munitions, which was why it's not a bad idea to go ahead and rush grenades if you think you're going to have some infantry skirmishes going on there. These advanced defense engineers are building the motor pool, so he is going fast motor pool. Again, great idea for an early armor commander. In fact, you know, the one thing you don't often see armor commanders get, or at least armor commanders don't have a huge reason to get, is Shermans. I mean, Shermans are great for everybody, but it's kind of like, well, you know, you're going to get Calliopes, which are Shermans anyways, so really your early armor needs to be something else. You kind of want to go for motor pool early game. So it is sort of an ironic sort of discrepancy between what armor commanders actually end up getting. But the good thing is that it's going to allow him to use his armor bounty and his HVAP, because really that's all he's got for the time being. Oh, and a single grenade goes off here on the left, so it looks like our infantry were, our riflemen were able to come out here and bump into these Katzenmeyer's Volksgrenadiers. All just kind of having a shootout but behind this heavy cover. But we do have a medic bunker just south of this position. This is a pretty nice place for a medic bunker. You're going to have tons of casualties right in this area as the Axis player if you're on that side of the map. And again, he was in one of these weird positions where if he had backed up a little bit, maybe he could have retreated around the top, but retreating around the bottom looks like it just cost him another casualty there. Although, note that was from this rifleman squad. So, hand grenade right in the face of the machine gun team. That's always what you want, is to take out the actual guy in the machine gun so they have to swap and maybe take some time to reload, that sort of thing. Meanwhile, great flank by the rest of the riflemen. I like this kind of play. I like this kind of parry and thrust style. Looked like maybe he was thinking about throwing a grenade there, but then decided to skip that. A bunch of medics lying around here, probably going to see some war crimes. It's always free XP, so we'll see what he does with that. But it looks like there's some other targets here. He got a glimpse of that anti-tank gun, and infantry versus anti-tank gun point blank. Really good moves there, but we do have grenadiers out. Going to take a quick peek just because the actions are kind of going around. You can see that MARKATLET does have the base defense upgrade where he's got machine gunners on all of his buildings, and he was quick to get a Krieg barracks. Meanwhile, we do have grenades going off and infantry retreating, and it looks like this medic bunker is getting pretty close to full, but there are no more. Here comes the last one, and there we go. We've got a full grenadier squad popping out of there. So that thing is already paying for itself, and our first Greyhound is out. Looks like it's already got its armored skirts on, and hopefully it's going to get the 50 caliber machine gun upgrade. Taking a quick look around, nothing new in his base. Fully recharged rifleman getting ready to come back out into the field, and we've got some advanced defense engineers sneaking around. So again, the challenge as a armored player in this kind of situation is how do you take advantage of your, how do you make do without a lot of armored abilities early on, and that's all you can really hope to do. So he's going ahead and spending all of his munitions getting the 50 caliber machine gun upgraded, and here he comes with the armored bounty, hoping to get some reimbursements, but it looks like everybody's just kind of running away. You'll see he's got no kills so far, but we'll keep track of this guy. Oh, it's always a little disappointing. The larger gun, I believe it's 37 millimeter. People have been calling me out on my weapon my weapon sizes, so I'll try and be a little bit more accurate with that. But the pack is on. The pack is on its game, and it's moving up here, looking out for the Greyhound. And thankfully, this Greyhound is backing away because he saw that pack earlier. He knows it's there. Meanwhile, we still have some back capping going on here by these pioneers, and a couple of engineers here are poking around, trying to chase them off. And hopefully, with the flames, that should be enough. Although these engineers are quite wounded. Going to take a peek back over here because we do have some infantry moving up on this medic bunker.